The University of Limpopo is abuzz with a series of festivities to celebrate its 65th anniversary. September also marks 47 years since the brutal murder of one of the founders of the Black Consciousness movement in the 1970s, Steve Biko. The institution used its celebrations to reflect on the movement and its ideas, discussing the state of South Africa through the lens of Black consciousness. The discussions emphasized the importance of Black consciousness in overcoming psychological and physical oppression. Speakers also critiqued the thinking and behavior of South African leaders since 1994, highlighting their lack of agency despite controlling the government and resources. They pointed out the internalization of inferiority complexes, evidenced by the segregation of education, housing, and the poor state of the public health system.
The ANC has been in government since 1994, and to be fair, we have to be fair. We have to assess its performance based on what it tells us that it is, not on what we wish it could be. It has defined its fundamental goal as being the construction of a united, non-racial, non-sexist, democratic and prosperous society in South Africa. It has stated consistently that it's not a black party. Accordingly, its focus is not on black people who are at the bottom of the pyramid. It is focused on lifting all people, a better life for all. The results that we see that I enumerated earlier, illustrated by these statistics, that's exactly what would follow if the intention is to lift all people without discrimination. If you say we want to create a better life for all, then you would have those results. And we cannot fight the ANC because that's what they've always said, that's who they are.
The former advisor to former President Thabo Mbeki wants leaders to change their behavior and serve the people.
The principle of equality, on the other hand, which runs through most of the Constitution, means that people are given the same resources and opportunities. Needless to say, the imposition of equality on an unequal society will produce inequities and inequality. Black consciousness emphasizes looking at societal development through an equity lens. Equity, not equality. The ANC says that it is building this prosperous nation based on respecting those who have worked to build and develop our country. One wonders, who are those who work to build and develop our country? I mean, if we take the meaning assigned to those words by Ms. Helen Zille, who said that colonialism was not too bad for South Africa because it helped develop the country, then those words mean something very sinister.
A former Azapo leader and cabinet minister during the Mbeki era says Black consciousness is essential for self-empowerment and dignity, enabling individuals to serve their communities effectively.
Black consciousness is an attitude of mind. It's a way of life. It gives its adherents a positive worldview that negates the poisonous narrative of inferiority complexes or slave mentality or colonial mentality that inhabits the psyche of many a subject of slavery, colonialism, and even most religions of our time. Above all, the philosophy imbues its adherents with a positive attitude towards themselves and to love their people, not to hate themselves and those that look like them, fill them with a desire to serve their people with love and dignity. Black consciousness accepts the duality of oppression, that is, the psychological and the physical. These two are as entangled together as the body and the mind. If the mind controlling the body is defective, so will the actions and activities of the body.
Mangena says the country's downward trajectory stems from a lack of black consciousness among its leaders.
You can have as many skills and as much knowledge as you like, but if you suffer from slave mentality, those skills might be worse than cow dung in value. We complain without end about the poverty and squalor that the majority black people live under. Do we believe we have any agency to engineer programs to tackle the problem? Or do we subliminally believe we cannot do it? Black people, especially the African component thereof, are the only people in this country who do not believe they can teach their own children. Hence the phenomenon we see where children are shipped out of the townships and villages in ungodly hours to be taught by others. There is no movement in the opposite direction where kids of the other race go to the townships and villages in the morning and come back in the afternoon for their education. This is because only blacks believe a good education can only be obtained from the others. But the others will not give black children to them to teach. If what we want is former Model C standards, why don't we create that where we stay? After all, we are in charge of the budget and the machinery of the state.
Mangena says students at the University of Limpopo played a significant part in the struggle for freedom, and many of its alumni continue to contribute to the nation in various fields. I'm Koketšo, Motau, SABC News, Mangena.